Hello friends, and welcome back to Bible Wonderland. Get ready for another magical, faith-filled story straight from the Bible. Today, we're diving into a tale that shows how God can do incredible things, even with the smallest problems. Our story is Elisha and the floating axe head. Long ago, there was a great prophet named Elisha. He was a man who listened closely to God and helped people understand God's love. One sunny day, Elisha was with a group of prophets by the Jordan River. It was a busy day. They were all working together, cutting down trees to build a new place to live and learn about God. The air was filled with the sound of chopping wood and happy voices. Among the workers was a young man, chopping with all his might. He was using a borrowed axe, swinging it back and forth. Chop, chop. But then, something unexpected happened. As he swung the axe back, the heavy iron axe head flew right off the wooden handle. It soared through the air for a moment, and then, splash, it landed right in the deep water of the Jordan River and sank straight to the bottom. Oh no! The man's face turned pale. He dropped the wooden handle and ran to the edge of the river, staring into the murky water. "Oh, Master," he cried out to Elisha. "What am I going to do? The axe head is gone, and it was borrowed." He was so worried. An iron axe head was very valuable back then, and he had no way to get it back from the bottom of the deep river. He felt hopeless, thinking about how he would explain this to the owner and how he could possibly finish his work. Elisha heard the man's panicked voice and walked over calmly. He saw the distress on the young man's face and knew this was more than just a lost tool. It was a heavy burden on his heart. Elisha didn't scold him or tell him not to worry. Instead, he asked a simple question: "Where did it fall?" The man, still upset, pointed to the spot in the river. "Right there," he said, his voice trembling a little. He'd just sank like a stone. Elisha looked at the spot. Then he did something that seemed very strange. Right over the spot where the iron axe head had disappeared, he said calmly, "Watch this." And then, something absolutely miraculous happened. The water began to bubble and stir. And slowly, impossibly, the heavy, solid iron axe head began to rise up from the depths. It floated to the surface of the water, bobbing gently as if it were made of light wood. The laws of nature were turned upside down right before their eyes. The young worker gasped in complete amazement. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. "Go on," Elisha said with a gentle smile. "Reach out and take it." The man carefully reached into the water and grabbed the floating axe head. He held it in his hands, feeling its weight, confirming it was real. Tears of relief and joy filled his eyes. "It's a miracle," he shouted. "God saved it. Thank you, God." All the other workers who had gathered around started cheering and praising God. They had just witnessed a true miracle. A small problem that seemed impossible to solve was fixed in an instant by the power of God. So, what can we learn from this incredible story? First, it teaches us that God cares about all our troubles, no matter how big or how small they seem. Losing an axe head might not sound like a huge problem to us, but it was a very big deal to that man. God saw his worry and cared enough to help. So, if you're ever worried about something, even if it feels silly or small, remember that God cares about you and what you're going through. Second, this story shows us that faith in God can make the impossible possible. An iron axe head simply cannot float. It's against the laws of science. But with God, nothing is impossible. When we trust Him, He can work in ways that we can't even imagine. And finally, never underestimate God's help. It can show up in the most unexpected ways. Who would have thought that throwing a stick into the water would solve the problem? Sometimes, God's solutions don't make sense to us at first, but we need to trust that He has a plan. What an amazing story of God's power and love. It reminds us to bring all our worries to Him and to trust that He will help us, sometimes in the most surprising ways. Thank you for joining us in Bible Wonderland today. We hope this story filled your heart with wonder and faith. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join us next time for another magical story.